Last workout before the show. It's a big sis, Melissa Bum. Supposed to go to Iron Addicts, but Obama ruined our workout.
For Muscular Development TV here with Chris Bumstead, who just pulled off yet another victory in his home country at the Toronto Super Show. Now, the Olympia is a few months away. Obviously, you're going to do the Olympia. People have high hopes for you already. But you mentioned in your victory speech, you know, these guys, you've never stood next to the top guys before. So you have no expectations going into the Olympia this September?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I see no expectations. I'm coming in to do the best I can, crack the highest place I can, but I'm never going to say I'm better than anyone before I stand beside them. Everyone brings a different package every show. I can come in off, I can come in better. You never know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to come in my best, see what happens.
Pancake House, the Bumsteads, and all of us here enjoying some amazing food. And Ian had soup. Pancake House and Ian had cream of broccoli soup. He even put it in MyFitnessPal. How many macros?
You know, like 20 grams of carbs.
We are 11 weeks out from the Olympia, and I think it's about time that I made this commitment. Finally dedicated myself to buying a camera for vlogging. So without further ado, let's up this quality a little bit. A lot of people ask me what it's like being 21 in university, missing out on all the parties, and it really doesn't upset me anymore. I used to always want to go out and would go out when I was younger because that's what I wanted to do. But now that I have such a strong passion and love for fitness and bodybuilding, that's what I want to do. I'd rather be out there doing that. So they're gonna head out, do their thing. I'll head out to the gym and crush some legs and see how that goes.
So we switch back to alphabetical order with one of the favorites. Everybody's been waiting to see what condition he's going to bring to this year's Classic Physique.
Chris, to me, is everything that classic bodybuilding is supposed to be. It's a blend of muscularity, shape, refinement, an artistic, blend of muscle bellies.
Not to mention, it looks like he knows how to show it off. And that's a key element when you talk about classic physique, is the performance. This is what was lost in men's open bodybuilding, and the classic physique guys are bringing it back.
You know, everything I went through last year, it was a life lesson. Of course, everyone goes through their battles and everything, but it made me mentally tougher than I could have ever imagined. And this prep, everything was just locked in. We were ready to go, and I showed up with more confidence, readier than I ever have in my entire life.
Well, man, you know, you've built for this sport.
As long as I put in the goddamn work that's right there in front of me to put in, as long as I can do that, I think I have a good chance of taking the title this year. And as many of you guys know, that's been my main focus for a few years, and it's really all I want to focus on is becoming the Classic Physique Mr. Olympia. One of the first ever Canadians to take a title at the Olympia. It would just be so fucking awesome, and that's what I'm gunning for every single day of this prep. I've got 11 weeks, lock it down, no being a bitch, and time to get it.
Go. Have it. Work for it. Finish it. Come on.
I think for sure those moments, because you know what you look like before stepping on stage, really. But sometimes it's that peak week when you really look your best and you're doing check-ins with the coach. The mornings leading up when we were in the Airbnb, Ian found this perfect lighting in this Mickey Mouse bedroom that's famous with these funny lights in the background now, like a Disney room. And I remember posing in there, and I couldn't see my back obviously, but Corny came in at one point, took a video of me hitting a back shot, and I watched it back, and I was like, holy fuck, like I look crazy right now, like I did it, I'm here, like fucking, I was so proud of like the improvements I made from the year before, that's when it was kind of like, hell yeah, we did it. You know, I hadn't even stepped on stage yet, so that kind of confidence boost definitely played into stepping on stage a few days later.
Pick him up. I was just like jaw dropped, like holy shit. Because yeah, I see him every day, pose in the morning, take his videos or pictures, pose again at night at the gym, do it again. Morning, like it was every day for months. So yeah, it's not like you get numb. You kind of like, okay, yeah, you look good, you look good, you look good. Holy shit, you look insane. And then like in Orlando, it was like, what? Like just mind blown, absolutely complete difference.
No waste. Did you hear the noise when I put it in?
You just fucking crushed all the fruit.
Yeah.
You just gotta force it right out. Yeah, we can keep it. Yeah.
You see a body that has like changed so much in a year. All you can think is that like it's finally healthy and it's finally happy. And I felt like I was looking at the beginning of a very, very long legacy. And it's the same thing when even when he heighted in at 6'1", and I knew that he was too, like he never would have to struggle to make a weigh-in again until he puts on 10 more pounds of muscle. I was like, this is just the beginning. And for so long, I was so worried that he would have to stop before he was finished. And like there's shock when you see this and then you're like, oh my God, how the fuck does someone do it? But there's also not shock because there was so much like peace leading up to it.
I don't know if they're spraying my face tonight or not. I don't want to do my hair, I just want to wear a hat or something.
That's a good thought to have done.
Before the weekend, yeah.
Good job.
Not have to think about it.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Game time, baby.
Holy shit.
It's old now.
Are we special needs? Do you guys have special sprayers?
Watched the whole thing on him. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, I did that for my whole prep.
No way.
Yeah.
Go all the way back over to Canada again. How do you say the name, Tim?
Yeah,
Ian Valieri. Ian Valieri.
Ian
Rich enough
Valieri.
they want to try it.
I don't want to try it.
I got butchered when I tried. I messed up some names that came for me on Instagram. All right, Ian Valieri.
All right, second at the Tampa Pro, first at the New York Pro.
Held in Tampa, by the way.
Held in Tampa.
What was going through your head when you saw like how happy he was with his package? Have you ever seen that before?
No, I honestly was just like, finally, you know. I feel like there's like so much anxiety and so much stress and pressure. And he's the one person that like is the most passionate and is the most involved and puts the most into it. And I wanted so badly for him to feel the joy in it again. You know what I mean? And you can't coach that in someone. You can't help that in someone. It has to be something inside. And I was just so happy that he was, I don't think I'd seen that on him on stage since his amateur show that I watched him do. And I was just like, finally you're here and you're enjoying it and you deserve it so much. Like, I don't think I've wanted something for someone ever as much as I wanted that for him in my entire life. And like, it was bliss after. I'm not even kidding you. Like, the week that I had after in Mexico with him, it was so just like, I don't know, it was such pure happiness that like, and like relaxation that I don't think I've ever really felt before.
Now, obviously, like, confirming that, like, you had obviously no doubts about Chris and like his prep, but like for you, for yourself personally, what was it like for you, like Showday and Peak Week? Like, did you have any nerves for yourself, or just like the experience yourself? Like, was it a lot different for you this time around?
Yeah, it was a lot different than the last time I was there, because I mean, you know, after Wayne, New York, and my status as a bodybuilder, like my stock has risen quite a bit since then. So the expectations from myself, as well as from everyone else, the judges, the fans, are definitely increased. You know, like no one was expecting me to be, you know, top 8 or top 10 when I showed up there in 2018. You know, and I kind of fell in where I kind of expected, you know. But this year there was kind of a whole slew of guys that, you know, given any one day, if they were, you know, a little 5% off or 5%, you know, better, could really slip in that group. You know, the guys like me and Hunter, Hakeem, you know, Dexter, any of these guys, you know, Justin Rodriguez, there was a bunch of guys that were kind of in that group there. You know, so really the things I worried about the most were, you know, one, I wanted to make sure I was significantly improved from all my other shows, you know, which I certainly was. And then obviously, you know, the only show I had lost this year was Tampa to Hunter. And so, you know, for my own 2 cents, I wanted to make sure that, you know, I had that redemption, not even for like any selfish reasons, just to show that, you know, I am the bodybuilder that I think I am, you know, that it wasn't like, you know, I didn't just show up there by chance, you know, and that the New York Pro win wasn't a chance, and I didn't come second there, you know, by chance, or, you know, and that I knew I was capable of being better and beating someone like that. It was really more of a thing of excitement to just, you know, like same with Chris. I mean, you know, the same thing that he had from 2019 and into 2020, kind of wanting to like prove people, you know, that wasn't a fluke and really solidify his legacy in that class. You know, on a lesser degree, mine was, okay, you know, I had some debate after New York and I had a bad showing in Tampa. You know, I really wanted to put those behind me and show people that I am capable of much more, and show myself that I'm capable of much more, and more importantly, you know, show myself, and just put all that doubt that I had in myself or that anyone had in me kind of behind me, and show that I am, you know, the top tier bodybuilder that I think I can be, and that I demonstrated that, right?
It was one of those things where like I was at my best and I kind of knew it, and it was just like happy and excitement, and I could see that Ian was at his best and he was in such a better headspace, so much more confident, and just looking bigger and leaner and drier than he ever had before. And we're both getting ready for the biggest show ever, the Olympia, and just like knowing that me and my brother-in-law are doing this and we look our best and feel our best, and our partners, his wife, my girlfriend, are there watching, and they're like supporting us, and just we're all in this fucking Mickey Mouse room in Orlando getting ready to compete. It was just a really cool feeling that we were able to just like, me and Ian were on very similar wavelengths the whole week. We're both very calm, peaceful, just kind of napping, watching movies, and then just getting up and fucking looking absolutely freakishly shredded in the Mickey Mouse room. And it was just a cool thing to share with kind of a family and my brother-in-law, obviously. Well, kids, the big night is here. It's bedtime. I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be show day. I'm tanned up, not quite done. I got 3 coats on me, another one tomorrow. Had some nice oats before bed. Didn't have any crazy carb up, nothing fun, nothing exciting. Keeping it simple, trying to keep me tight, trying to come in shredded as fuck, as always. But yeah, the work's done. It's time for me to just try and get some rest. It's 11. I couldn't sleep. Ian just got on and he looks fucking sick right now. He just moved Dexter Jackson. He has to have a call out, which is pretty fucking crazy. So that fired me up. Now I've got to try and sleep because we got to be up at 5 in the morning, which is in like 6 hours. I'm gonna hit the hay. See you guys in the morning. Ready to fuck shit up.
His glutes from top to bottom are like dying.
So where does he need to be full? I think as your partner and someone who is probably the closest to you and who sees you every single day and who goes to sleep beside you and wakes up next to you and like I'm with you all the time. Last year was really, it was challenging because there would be moments at night where he would just come into the room and you could tell he was trying his best to hold it together and really be like, it was stressful. And as a partner, I was like, oh my gosh, it breaks your heart to like see the person you love have these constant like flare-ups or, you know, is holding so much water but just has to keep pushing through and kind of like put his head down and just keep working. So coming back into his prep this year, fresh off a breakup, rekindling our relationship, him starting, you know, his prep again for the second time with more pressure because now he's Mr. Olympia and he's got to maintain that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie and say no, I had no worries. I for sure had moments of being like let's just hope nothing happens. Like let's just, you know, every week though something didn't happen and he was good and just got better and better. My faith in the situation and belief just started to go up. I was like, okay, nothing is gonna happen. Like, he's good. And yeah, I think seeing him just progress and be so strong as an individual and just keep pushing and thriving and like moving forward, it was inspiring for me to watch because he was completely not in his head. He was in a different world. And I think that it did play a huge impact on him not getting sick. Like, it wasn't even a question that it was gonna happen. It wasn't. Like, that's how he viewed it. And I saw him be so strong and I was like, fuck yeah, you're not gonna get sick. And seeing his strength alone was pretty powerful, so yeah.
Beautiful soup. Mind, body, and spirit.
I think there was a lot of suppression in 2019. He was trying to suppress, his disease. He was trying to suppress his emotions. He was trying to suppress his fear. And I think when he won and he had that feeling of relief and he didn't have that feeling of joy, that probably was like, ooh, this isn't how I expected this to feel. And I don't think if he had had that feeling, he would have realized that he needed to fix that part of him that wasn't allowing him to go through all the motions, or not the motions. He was going through the motions, but he wasn't necessarily experiencing and feeling the journey. Instead, he was trying to say like, okay, I'm not gonna look at myself. I'm not gonna think about my fear. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm just gonna keep pushing. And I think he learned that he needs to feel things and acknowledge the feelings and work through them to actually be present in the moment and enjoy it. And I don't think he's fully mastered it yet, I'm not gonna lie, but I think he was a lot better. And I think this year he allowed himself to do it enough that his body was able to respond and follow with him and flow with him. And I think maybe after this year, he'll realize that if he can do it a bit more, his mind will be even more present, and then it'll be basically another level up, right?
It's not a joke.
But fuck yeah.
Don't be a pussy.
I gotta go grab some stuff. Okay. Thank you. Get your headphones in. I love you so much.
I love you too. Bye.
Just relax. Feet up.
I don't have anybody else.
And your final competitor from Canada.
Let's go!
Defending Classic Physique Olympia champion, Chris Bumstead. All right, folks.
Entree, 15 Brian, 15 Terrence, 25 Danny, and 26 Chris. Between 15 and 2. 15 and 2. Between. Stay.
Where do you belong, Bucky? Come on, Tyler! Let's fucking go! Go to work! Come on!
19 and 4. Front double bicep.
Let's go to work, Bumstead! Come on, Chris! Show us what it is! Come on! Reynolds! Oh, yeah! Fuck yeah!
Easy! Side chest.
Come on, babe! This is you! This is
Back double bicep.
Come on, show
favorite classic pose.
Come on!
Bring it on. Terrence and Chris, thank you. Double bicep. Side chest. Back double bicep.
Go, Chris! Come on! Come on! Stand up! Open up! Open up! Spread out! Spread out! Come on, baby! All you, babe! All fucking you!
Thighs.
Game over! Let's go, babe! All you, babe! Come on, baby!
Relax, back in line. Hit your favorite classic pose.
Let's go! Come on, Boo! Let's fucking go! Come on! Yeah, babe! Come on, baby! Lights out! Lights
Back in line, guys.
So good! Oh my god!
He just like stuck out like you wouldn't believe. His demeanor, physically, how he carried himself on stage, lights out.
That's the advice I think for ever. Like, so easy. It's funny because I remember last year being still impressed by other people up there. You know what I mean? Like I would see Breon, I'm like, oh my God, he looks really good. Or George last year, I'd be like, wow, he looks really good. But this year, like, because of the amount that he was in his own league, I wasn't even shocked by them. You know what I mean? I didn't even look at them and say, oh, they look really good. Because he was so dominant. And I think after I saw him in the lineup, after I saw first call out, I was like, this is lights out. I'm pretty sure we all texted each other. We were like, we don't even have, like, there's not a single doubt in my mind. If Christopher does not repeat this, something is wrong. Like, it was just so obvious. You know, so mentally on.
Yeah, that was decisive.
Good job.
Like, no doubt.
I felt fun up there too. It's the most fun I've had.
You look like you were having fun.
Yeah,
You
look
stayed
like
on
you had
it,
fun.
like, stayed on
Present.
stage.
Being so present.
We gotta get out of here.
After the prejudging was over, I was like, holy shit. Like, number one, you got this. Number 2, his character showed on stage. He didn't walk off. He clapped for every single athlete who was, you know, in every call out. He stayed on stage the entire time for every call out, or there was other athletes like walking off and after they were in their call out and just kind of not really present. He was fully present. And watching that, it was like, of course I'm into it screaming. Like, you probably have footage of me next to you, like fucking going crazy, like screaming and just being so excited. So the whole weekend itself was, the whole week, the whole 3 months leading up to this like point was insane.
One of them's still here, the other one's on. Thank you for all you do. Oh my God.
I honestly, in my like heart of hearts, I knew for months. Like, what, you know, I saw him at like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Because like, I mean, like I've also, as silly as it sounds, like I also thought of it just from like a logistical standpoint of like, okay, he won last year being a fraction of what he is this year, you know, and I could see that it was so far improved from a multitude, like, you know, from his back shots, from his muscularity, from the conditioning that we achieved weeks out. Like, you know, I knew that there was absolutely no way, unless something, you know, unforeseen happened, that he wasn't going to surpass that look. And I knew he already won with that look. So the stress from that perspective of winning was kind of out the window weeks ago. You know, when he did prejudging and you could see, you know, and that same mindset continued right up to the day of the show, because I don't think I saw anything at one day out that I didn't expect to see. You know, I expected Chris to be as good as he was because I saw it at 2 weeks out, 4 weeks out, 6 weeks out, and I saw the progression. It was exactly as we kind of predicted. You know, and it kind of all came together, and I could see how dominant he was in that group. We already knew kind of we had it in the bag, and it was just, you know, everyone fighting for second after that, right?
So after prejudging, they were definitely playing around with us a little differently. Before, I'd kind of always understand that with me and Brianna up there. But what was really honestly cool and different this year was, because I was the returning champ this year, they let me go out last on the last count stage, and someone actually almost was going behind me, and I asked, I was like, am I not supposed to go last as the champ? And they're like, well, do you want to? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, you're the champ, you can do whatever you want. And when they told me that right before going on prejudging, I'm like, fuck yeah, like I'm the returning champ right now, and it kind of built a little confidence. And when I was standing out there on stage, I honestly felt like, it almost sounds cheesy to say, but I genuinely felt like I was alone up there. Half the time I didn't realize who was beside me. And when I went afterwards, when I was thinking of the call, I couldn't remember if it was Breon or Terrence or Alex or Lord Jones or whoever it was kind of around me. I couldn't really remember because I was so in my own headspace on stage, and I was just confident in myself and so focused on myself that I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And because of that, I didn't allow myself to step off stage and be like, oh, I'm winning, I'm losing, I look better than this guy and that guy. All I felt with pride that I knew I looked better than last year. I knew I looked fucking good, and that was how I left it. And I was gonna leave it at that. And people spoke to me about their opinions and whatnot. I really tried not to let that get in my head, because it really doesn't matter what you think, because you still gotta show up at 100% in the next show and wait till they call your name.
What is up, YouTube? It's Showday.
finals are starting soon. Had pre-judging this morning, just locked in and focused and taking the day, and it couldn't have gone any better. I really don't think it could have gone any better. I woke up looking great this morning. Everything this week was perfect. The prep was just amazing. Backstage, I was just in the fucking zone. I didn't see anyone else around me. I just felt like it was just me out there posing, trying to do my thing, being better than last year, and it felt right. I was excited. I was enjoying the moment. I almost cried on stage at one point because I was actually like present, like looking around, like holy fuck, I'm here. I feel this good, and I'm just so grateful to like have had such a good year compared to the last few years, and it just felt amazing. So I'm just fucking happy that this morning went so well, but the job is not over. I'm keeping my mind locked in. I'm not letting everything get anywhere too quick right now. Still got some work to do tonight. Still got routines, more comparisons. Anything can change at the night show. It all goes down at the night show. So we're keeping it locked in, keeping it focused. No crazy food or anything. Just been eating potato and rice. Nothing fun. Because we want to keep me dry. We want to keep me crisp. I've made my growth and improvements in my muscle. We don't need to be full with hamburgers or anything. So we're gonna lock it in. We're gonna fuck shit up tonight, and we're gonna have a good time. So hope you guys enjoy.
We were going to start off with, we didn't know if you were taping or whatever, but I said, why don't you say,
What is up, YouTube?